This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Man dies after walking into A&E following gun attack. 26-year-old Junior Dwight Bryce walked into the Accident and Emergency Department at the University Hospital of the West Indies yesterday morning, shortly after being shot outside the St. Andrew-based medical facility. He died while undergoing treatment. Bryce's mother, Sharon Johnson, told the news that she heard when unknown assailants attacked her son minutes before 7 a.m. "I wasn't at the scene. I was at home getting ready to come out to go to work. I heard the shot them, and when I came out, I heard it was him. They said he walked over to the hospital, and I don't hear anything else," Johnson said. Bryce was reportedly shot in the chest, back, and hand. A porter who assisted Bryce to the theater told the news that he had expected him to pull through. "I was shocked when I came back and they told me he had died. He walked from the outside to the A&E entrance, and I actually thought that he would make it. The doctors did everything they could," he said. Detectives had begun cordoning off a section of Sir John Golding Road, rerouting traffic through the hospital campus. It also forced a temporary closure of some businesses in the vicinity. Bryce's father was also at the scene, but was too distraught to speak, diverting all questions to Johnson. "He was all right. He's a jovial person," she said. "Sometimes he works on a bus or any little site to do some construction or anything like that. I have 8 of them, and he is the 4th child." There has been a 63% reduction in murders in the St. Andrew Central Police Division since the start of the year, compared with the similar period last year. Up to February 23, there were 7 reported murders compared to 19 for the corresponding period in 2020. 2 brothers shot in home invasion in Hanover, 1 dead, 1 critical. The Hanover police are in search of unknown gunmen who shot and killed a 17-year-old student and injured the teen's brother at their home in the parish during an early morning attack on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as Zylan Curtis of Campbell's Hill, Hanover. Reports are that about 1:36 a.m., the brothers were asleep when they were pounced upon by gunslingers who gained entry to their house by kicking a door open. The brothers, who were both shot, were subsequently rushed to the hospital, where the 17-year-old was pronounced dead and his elder brother was admitted in a critical condition. No motive for the deadly attack has yet been established by the police. Westmorland men charged with murder. Investigations by detectives assigned to the Westmorland Division into the death of 62-year-old Delroy Grant at his home on Hudson Street, Savannah Lamar on Monday, January 1, has led to the additional arrest and charge of 2 other men. Charged with murder are 50-year-old Mark Watson, otherwise called Wani, a fisherman of East Street, and 35-year-old Delroy Cunningham, otherwise called Ratty, of Hudson Street, both in Savannah Lamar. Reports are that about 7:45 a.m., Grant was in his yard when he was attacked by Watson, Cunningham, and 2 other men who were armed with pieces of iron, a machete, and a hammer. The men proceeded to inflict wounds to Grant before escaping in the area. Residents summoned the police, and upon their arrival, Grant was transported to the hospital where he was treated and admitted in serious condition. He later succumbed to his injuries on January 17. On Monday, February 8, a team of officers conducted an operation on Hudson Street, during which the other 2 men were apprehended and charged. On Monday, February 22, Cunningham was apprehended during an operation, and Watson surrendered on Tuesday, February 23. Their court dates are being finalized. The University Hospital of the West Indies says it's not operating without water. The University Hospital of the West Indies is dismissing claims that it has been operating without water since Saturday. In a statement yesterday, the hospital says it has water storage for several days should there be any water restriction from the National Water Commission or any disaster. The response emerged from allegations that there were no water on the premises for several days. Amber refutes second vulnerability claims and explores legal action. Founder and Chief Executive Officer of the Amber Group, Dushyant Savadia, has described recent reports alleging a second vulnerability on the Jam COVID website as deeply concerning. In a press release, Savadia explained that the exposed environment file being described as a second vulnerability is one that contained expired information along with the links that had been previously made redundant. These files do not contain any personal information from JAM COVID-19 users, nor do they enable access to such information, he said, noting that login information to its applications and websites is further protected with multi-factor authentication to prevent access. If you take a closer look at the file that was referenced, you would have seen that the database URL and credentials were already rectified last week, he said. Amber said it remains very concerned about what it said were certain reports being published in the mainstream and referenced on social media platforms which are seemingly defamatory. In this regard, the company is currently consulting its legal team, it said. Amber said it continues to work to mitigate against continued cyber attacks, hacking and mischievous players seeking to disrupt and interfere, including these occurrences, with a system designed to facilitate safe re-entry into our borders. Amber said it also wishes to clarify that the JAM COVID-19 system was developed to meet an urgent need to facilitate controlled re-entry to Jamaica. The comprehensive system was built, developed, and enhanced over a 10-month period, the company said. Savadia added, Amber stands behind its work and contributions to Jamaica in the fight against the pandemic. We continue to cooperate fully with investigation by the authorities. Government shuts down face-to-face learning for students not doing exams. Government has directed public schools to immediately revert to online learning for most students and only to provide face-to-face instructions to students preparing for school leaving examinations. This means only grade 6 students in primary school and those in grades 11 through 13 at the secondary level should physically attend school. Education Minister Favour Williams urged parents and teachers of students from other grades to utilize other methods of learning, including online, television, and radio, and printed material. Speaking at a post-cabinet press briefing at the office of the Prime Minister on Wednesday, Williams said the advice was communicated during a joint meeting with the COVID-19 task force and principals of schools approved for face-to-face instructions by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Ministry of Education. If they have these exam grades students on the campus, they can spread them out all over the campus now that you do not have the other grades there to occupy that space, Williams said. Williams noted that just over 300 schools had resumed face-to-face instructions out of more than 400 which had been approved to do so by the Education Ministry. We continue on that effort to ensure that we do the inspections along with the Ministry of Health and Wellness to approve our schools, but we allow the principals and teachers the flexibility. They are on the ground, they understand the situation, Williams said. As the number of positive COVID cases across the island continues to mount, some schools which were approved for face-to-face instructions have been forced closed as students and staff have tested positive for the dreaded disease. Meanwhile, Acting Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Kosan Troop, said the Caribbean Examinations Council was expected to meet with stakeholders this Friday to confirm the dates for this year's regional exams. Island-wide curfew extended to March 1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the island-wide nightly curfew that the government has implemented as one of the measures to limit the spread of COVID-19 will be extended until March 1. The curfew hours will remain at 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily. In addition, the public gathering limit remains at 10 persons until February 28, according to Holness in a statement Wednesday afternoon. In the meantime, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has advised schools to focus on students preparing for exit exams at grade 6, 11, 12, and 13. Other students should not be on the campuses and should be engaged through other established learning modalities. According to Holness, a further review of various measures under the order due to expire on February 28 will be undertaken and an announcement made regarding measures that will be in place effective March 1. The Prime Minister reiterated that the virus is spread when persons move. Persons are being encouraged to stay within their homes as much as possible and minimize movement for necessary and productive activities such as going to work, obtaining food and medical supplies, accessing medical services, and conducting conducting businesses and financial transactions. All citizens must continue to keenly observe the infection prevention and control measures to guard against the spread of COVID-19. These measures include maintaining a 6 feet physical distance from others, frequently washing hands with soap and water or using sanitizer, and always wearing a mask in public, Holness said. Only through this concerted effort to control the spread of the virus will we be able to maintain a level of productivity to secure lives and livelihoods and recover more quickly from this crisis, he said. JPS to close 7 offices due to reduction in walk-in customers. Electricity provider Jamaica Public Service said it will begin the phased closure of 7 of its customer service offices in March. The offices to be closed are located in the parishes of St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Elizabeth, Westmorland, St. Mary, St. Thomas, and Kingston. Closure of the 7 JPS offices will begin on March 8, after which only the Bill Express sections of the courtesy phones to call the JPS call center will remain. Closures will be completed on April 1. JPS also announced that it will be accelerating service digitization as more of its customers are choosing to do transactions online. We are responding to the change in customer behavior, said Ramsey McDonald, JPS Senior Vice President of Customer Services. McDonald said less than 5% of JPS customers in these parishes go into the offices to do transactions. In the last year, we saw a dramatic reduction in the number of customers coming into our offices as more persons are choosing to contact us by telephone or through our online contact points. Currently, over 70% of customers' contacts with JPS comes through our 24-hour call center, web chat, social media, emails, and the recently launched mobile app. We are therefore redeploying resources to our customers' preferred contact points to ensure seamless delivery of service, he said. The primary reason customers visit JPS offices is to pay bills and make bill queries, and even these are being done remotely at an increasing rate. There has been a steady uptick in online bill payments, with fewer and fewer customers coming in to do payments. The movement away from office visit has no doubt been influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic, but this trend has been in the making for a few years now, McDonald said. He added more persons recognize that there are several more convenient options available to them. Additionally, the new MyJPS mobile app has accelerated the shift to digital interactions, as our customers now have access to a wide range of services at their fingertips, including bill payments and account updates, usage tracking, outage reporting, and application for service. JPS has committed to maintaining a presence in the communities it serves, even with the closure of the offices. We will also be providing service through our mobile offices, where we will be able to overcome the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, he said. 5 JPS customer service offices will remain open. These are Ruthven Road in Kingston and St. Andrew, Spanish Town in St. Catherine, Mandeville in Manchester, St. Anne's Bay in St. Anne, and Montego Bay in St. James. The company closed its offices in Trelawney, Portland, and Hanover in early 2020. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.